is Southern Yankee, and today is meal prepping day for me. I'm getting breakfasts and lunches and a few dinners kind of prepped and in the freezer, I think most everything's going in the freezer. But I am making one little treat for myself. I love candy, so I wanted to try a sugar-free candy option. So this is sugar-free gummy candy, and I have some fun little molds that I got on Amazon. They're gummy bears. I have some larger molds as well, but I figured I wanted to try these. If I have extra, I'll just use my big molds so I don't have to do 2 batches. But I figured these would probably set fairly quickly. So in my pan right here, I've got 1 packet of sugar-free raspberry Jell-O. I've also got 5 unflavored gelatin packets, and then approximately, because life is trial and error, 2 cups of water. And I'm just getting this warmed and dissolved over medium heat in a heavy bottom saucepan. So my mixture is pretty well dissolved. It did get kind of foamy on the top, so I'm trying to let the foam kind of go down because I don't want that in my candy. But my little kit came with fun little droppers, so you can individually pipe it into the little bears and make sure that you're not overfilling and spilling everywhere. I do recommend though that you put them on a pan before you start filling, because let me tell you, any little movement they're silicone, they're gonna move. So I think my mixture is pretty well dissolved, and I think we're ready to go ahead and start working on filling the little bear. So I'm gonna turn off my burner, and I'm gonna just move my camera down, and let's start filling these little cuties. Ooh, and it's definitely messy. But this is still a lot easier than if I was doing this with a spoon or something. This is great. It's not bad at all. All right, well, I'm gonna keep going and get all my little bears filled. I do have another box of Jell-O with peach that I may just make, like, we'll see how these turn out. I'll just make some larger sized with my other molds that I have, and we'll see what happens. All right, so I just took the gummy bears out of the fridge, and we're gonna just pop them and see. They do come out really easy. Let's just see how easy it is to do the whole thing. Let's try just popping them. And I did taste them. They're so stinking adorably cute and weird. All right, so there, can you see them? Can you see the little cuteness bear? All right, they came out perfectly. I'll try one. They're gummy. They're still more of a Jell-O-y kind of texture though, I have to admit. I would think though that you're gonna need to keep these in the fridge because it's gelatin. I don't think theirs are gonna be shelf stable. But let's see how easy they're popping out of here. Yeah, they're popping out pretty easy. I'm gonna be honest with you though, this is kind of one of those things that, yeah, it's kind of fun. Yeah, they're popping out pretty good. But it's very, very tedious and labor intensive. And I'm gonna be honest, the thing is, I've tried like the store-bought gummy bears that are sugar-free. First of all, you have to be super duper careful how many you eat, because whatever it is they're using in them will give you a massive tummy ache. So this is just kind of something fun, but I can't see this being something that I would create like on a regular basis. Yeah, it was kind of a fun purchase, but it's pretty labor intensive to make these. But you know, hey, it's fun to try new things. I think that I would definitely add less water maybe to make it more the gummy consistency. But yeah, this is labor intensive to pop all these back out. Like to fill it, it was labor intensive. To pop them out, it's labor intensive. But again, a fun little treat. I like to have fun things when I travel. So I would say this would be kind of fun as a travel-y thing. See, there's just one little thing. So I think I'm gonna bag these in a Ziploc and pop them back in the fridge to have for just a snack, 0 point Weight Watchers snack. Oh, my bears just jumped off the plate. They're very bouncy. So while this is probably not like a weekly thing I'm gonna do, definitely fun. I mean, it's yeah, it is what it is. They kind of slide around on your teeth. It's hard to chew them. But they're good. They're good. They're fun. They're probably not gonna make me lose a look. I'm just gonna keep eating all the bears. They're cute though. This would be fun for kids to make. Yeah, cute, very cute. I think my bear gummies will actually, I would definitely do this with the larger gummy molds. This just takes too long. So today I'm going to be trying a WW recipe off the app. So if you're a Weight Watchers member, you have access to this recipe, but I'm just going to go through how it's made, and then in a later video I'll taste test and let you know how it turned out. So this is one that I'm going to prep and put into individual containers. So this recipe serves 4, which is perfect. I'll just portion it out into 4 meal prep containers, and I think this is lemon chicken with broccoli. Very, very simple. I tried to find things that I know we're gonna probably freeze and reheat well, because you know, there's just a lot of recipes that just aren't gonna make the cut. So this one seems like it should be a good one to meal prep and freeze into my containers and have as a quick grab and go lunch on my work days. So this one is coming up. Now I can't remember if I tweaked it before I printed it, but I have it coming up as 1 point for a serving. So I'm gonna pair this with a side of quinoa so that, you know, it's got a little more oomph to it, a little more staying power to make it through the day. And it does, I'm just gonna use frozen broccoli, and I'm not gonna cook the broccoli. I'm just gonna pair it in the container with the chicken and have it all ready to go, and the side of quinoa. So let's get started. I've got my pan heating, and let's go ahead and bring you down here so you can see my pan as well. So I've got my pan heating, and I'm just gonna, it does say to use olive oil, so that might actually reduce the points a little bit. I'm gonna use some just olive oil spray. I feel like my pan's it's getting there. It's definitely hot. Oh yeah, it's smoking hot. So I've got my chicken already cut up and ready to go. Oh yeah. All right, get in there, chicken. And I'm just gonna cook the chicken, it says, for about 5 minutes until it's done. One of the tricks that I've learned with cooking chicken is get it in a pan and then just leave it alone. Just give it a chance to sear on that side, and then it'll move around freely. If it's fighting you to move, just leave it alone. Let it have a second. Let me put my chicken plate over in the sink. And I'm gonna grab a fresh plate, because you're gonna just take this out and set it aside while you make the sauce. So our chicken is, here, see, now it moves around freely. So go ahead and just toss that. And we're just gonna keep going until it cooks completely. All right, so while my chicken is finishing cooking and all the steam, I'm getting, in my picture, I'm gonna go ahead and zest some of my lemon. It says about 2 teaspoons or more to taste. I really love lemon, and I know that when you want that lemon flavor, you want as much of the zest as you can get. I am, however, I'm scared to death of these zesters because I have been cut on this thing way too many times. So I try to be as careful as I can be, but I'm gonna zest pretty much as much of this lemon and then I'll cut it and get the juice. But the zest is where the flavor is at. The lemon juice is just not gonna give you that good lemony flavor. That zest is gonna give you some more consistent lemon flavor. Oh, and it smells so delicious. All right. There we go. So I'm just gonna cut my lemon in half and grab my juicer. Go ahead and get the juice from this. It says to have a tablespoon, so probably, I'm just gonna use the whole lemon. I really do like the lemon flavor, so I'm gonna just go ahead and use my whole lemon. Yeah, that's probably like 2 tablespoons, but that's okay. So I've already got my cup of chicken broth ready for the sauce. My chicken is coming along really nicely. It's almost cooked all the way through. So you just wanna make sure you're not seeing any more pink. And I kind of check it by giving it the tap, see if it's still kind of squishy. If it's squishy, it's not cooked all the way through. But you do wanna make sure this is all the way cooked. But do remember too, it's gonna go in the microwave later. So just don't overcook the chicken. But you don't wanna see any pink going on in your pan. And it's almost ready. So I've got a cup of chicken broth and I actually just used the Knorr chicken cubes to make my chicken broth. And I've got that in here. I'm gonna just go ahead and add in my zest and my lemon juice to that, just for, you know, quick and easy. So I also need to add in some garlic, and I rarely buy fresh garlic. I use so much garlic that I just go ahead and buy the already minced, and this says to use 2 teaspoons, so that's close enough. All right, and then it wants fresh parsley. I don't have any fresh parsley, so that's just where it is. I have some dried. I could put some dried parsley in it, I guess. Yeah, we'll add some dried parsley to it just for color. I don't think the parsley actually adds any flavor to it, so I added some dried parsley in. All right, so that's ready to go once the chicken is fully cooked. I think it's just about there. Now at this point, you are gonna wanna take this chicken out because you're gonna have to thicken this sauce up a little bit. I think, because I didn't use the flour, it's not gonna have much in the bottom, just a little bit of the chicken liquid. But I am gonna go ahead, I'm gonna move my chicken to my clean plate over here. And I'm gonna try to leave the juice in the pan. And you might wanna go ahead and turn your heat up just a little bit, like a medium high. And then let's add in that broth and garlic and lemony stuff. And let's go ahead and get that cooked. All right, so I did grab, it's definitely boiling now. I did grab a little bit of cornstarch. I opted for cornstarch. And I just added some of the liquid, and I'm thickening it with that hot liquid. And then I'll pour it into the whole sauce. I think it is gonna need a little bit of something to thicken it. And if that doesn't quite thicken it up enough, I can always add a little more cornstarch. It's easy enough to do that. All right, so at this point it's boiling. I'm gonna go ahead and add my cornstarch slurry in, and we'll see how quick, if that thickens up. Ooh, it's steaming up the camera. All right, now that sauce has begun to thicken a little. I did add a little bit more cornstarch to it because it just was not thickening up. I also took a moment to add a little more lemon zest to it. I just felt like it needed a little more lemony kick to it. It's got a lot of garlic, so definitely. And I did salt and pepper the chicken when I was cooking that, but I probably will also at this point, I'm gonna add a little bit more to this sauce. I do like a lot of pepper. All right, looks good. All right, I'm gonna turn this down. I am going to add my chicken back into the sauce. And let's just let it all get coated in there. And it's pretty much ready. So what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna set this aside and let it cool down. And once it's cooled down enough, then I will go ahead and prep this in my meal prep containers with my broccoli. You could absolutely do this with asparagus. I think asparagus would be great with this, or any other veg you would like. But I am gonna cook up some quinoa as well. And I make my quinoa, I just buy quinoa from Aldi and cook it according to the package directions. And I make mine, instead of water, I make mine with chicken stock, just to give it a little extra flavor. And that's usually enough flavor for me. All right, so I'm gonna let my chicken cool off, and I'll be back with the quinoa cooked and the chicken cooled down enough to put in the meal prep containers. See you in a bit. Alrighty, so my lemon, chicken, and broccoli lunch preps are done. I've added in the frozen broccoli, my cooled chicken, and then I added in a half cup of cooked quinoa that I just cooked in some chicken stock to each of my 4 meal prep containers. Once these are totally cooled down enough, I will put the tops on and pop them in the freezer. If you put them in too soon and they're still a little warm, you're gonna risk freezer burn and condensation that will cause freezer burn, and it's gonna alter the taste of your food. I do recommend though that you don't make these more than a month or 2 ahead of time. You really don't wanna have these in the freezer for very long. They're not sealed like prepared packaged food that you buy in the grocery store. There's no preservatives, but again, they're safe. I'd say 1 to 2 months is a good time frame, and enjoy. All right, y'all, I'm out of breath because I'm hurrying to get these in the oven. These are my breakfast cakes. This is peanut butter banana, and that's also peanut butter banana, and then this is a pumpkin. And these are called a BAM cake. It's Bust a Myth, and I'm gonna show you real quick. Here is the cookbook it's from. I can't share the recipe with you because it wouldn't be fair. Serene and Pearl worked hard to create these recipes, so credit where credit is due. But you can go, I bought this used actually on Amazon. They have some really great recipes. These cakes are phenomenal, okay? So Trim Healthy Table is the name of this cookbook. Go check it out on Amazon. But I'm gonna get my cake in the oven. They take a little longer than a traditional cake would. They're made with oat, and you actually grind the oats into flour. They're amazing. I portion all of these into 9 portions, even though they're in different size pans. It's the same amount, 9 portions. So whatever 9 times 3 is, it's a bunch of cakes. I package them into Ziploc bags, put them in the freezer, and I just pull them out the day of. I microwave them, and I like to eat them warm. They taste better warm, I think. But these can be a dessert cake. I choose to use them as a breakfast cake because they're full of protein and good carbs, and they're just filling and delicious. So I'm gonna get them in the oven and get them baked, cooled, and packaged up, and I'll have breakfast for the next month and a half. All right, y'all, it is been a long day, but this is what I like. Right here, all these meal preps. Yeah, look at that. Lunches. They're ready to go. And that just gives me a nice feeling. Yes, I'm tired. I'm just finishing up packaging up the breakfast cakes, but that will set me for probably a month and a half at least once I make the breakfast cakes. So it just feels good. Lunches are made. I've got 16 at the moment, I think. 16, and I do have one more. I was missing an item, so I'll probably make that one day this week just to get that finished. But having 20 lunches prepped and then plenty, I'll probably actually have almost 30 breakfasts prepped. It's a good feeling. Well, if you made it till the end, I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and stick around for more. See ya.